Today we're going to take a nice drive through a town called Carmel. Now, Carmel, New York is a hamlet that is kind of put together right next to some other small towns, also known as hamlets. So in this particular community, you have Carmel, Lake Carmel, and a town called Kent. Now, those three together, they kind of interchange with one another, but they do have differences. So on this particular road, we are taking a back street drive off of one of the main roads, which we just turned off of, called Fair Street. Now, Fair Street links the town, and this particular street is a little junction that takes you to another road. So I wanted to make sure to give you some content that you could see what an average day of driving looks like. You can see kind of traffic, like what it's like. This is an early morning drive. I think it's probably like 8 something. But anyway, enjoy the trees, enjoy the scenery, and I may pop back in from time to time with just some helpful tidbits. So as you saw, as we just passed by that little orange detour sign, because there is construction, they're doing some work on Fair Street. They're doing some road upgrades. One thing I will say, in this particular area, the taxes go to use for the roads. They're constantly being updated and maintained, although some roads get more attention than others. I can definitely admit to the fact that the roads are pretty well taken care of here. So this particular route is a detour from Fair Street. In case you didn't want to just sit in the detour traffic, you can go around. There is a big yellow house at the corner here, which is a nice veterinary office. If you were to go to the left, you would be able to cross into a town called Brewster. Now, Brewster is another city here in Putnam County. It is one that I'm going to make a video of shortly, but not today. This particular light will take you, if you go to the right, towards Carmel Mahopac. If you go to the left, towards Brewster and towards the highway. As you can see, there are lots of different cars here on this road. And this particular road will take you kind of towards the town. This road also leads you towards a little shopping plaza known as Putnam Plaza. Around here you have also different town buildings. You have a Lutheran church over there. You have an archery center further down the road. You've got a recycling place where you can take your bottles and cash out. You have a grocery store. They're actually building senior housing here on the right. There is also a little plaza where you have fast food. So you have things like KFC, Wendy's. There are pizzerias, tons of pizzerias in this area. There are only 2 Chinese restaurants that I know of in the area. One I prefer over another, but when it comes to like Italian type foods, there are many options here in this particular area. If you keep going on this left hand side, you'll notice some red trucks. There's a place called Honeydew, where if, let's say, you need help around the house but you don't necessarily want to hire a contractor, maybe you do want to hire a contractor, you can reach out to them and they can give you some quotes and estimates as to what it would cost, and maybe send somebody over to just give you a hand with little odds and ends around the home. There are so many resources around here. They also have the senior center. So if you are a senior and you're looking for a town that has amenities and options and things for you to do, the town of Carmel, it has a nice senior center and different things for you to do. There are also several gas stations. I think I'll end this video at maybe a gas station so you can see one that has typically good pricing. You'll notice that right off of a highway, the gas stations always have a higher price. I don't know why. I'm not going to speculate. But when you go deeper into the towns, you can find more well-priced or reasonably priced gas stations. If you have one that you prefer, regardless of what the price is listed as, by all means enjoy. But me personally, I like to go where it's good. So we'll see what that means later on. You do have automotive stores. There's AutoZone. There's a recreational center not far from here where you can do bowling. They have live music in the summertime. Let's see, there's some veterinary offices, legal offices, and this road is going to take you to a basically intersection where you can go left to go towards Mahopac or right to go towards Carmel, Patterson, that kind of area. That little overhead is all part of the walk trail. Putnam County has a walk trail that leads up towards the Adirondacks, and then you can take it all the way down to the city if you feel ambitious and you want to walk all day. By all means, check it out. It's a great place to walk and ride your bike or other things. There are some little nooks in here in that plaza to the left. That is the only place, and I mean only place, that I've found in this Putnam County that can do hair for women of color. So me, I have very thick, very curly hair, and I remember when we first moved up here, it was a nightmare finding a salon where I could get a simple wash and set. So things like that. There's actually a video featuring that location. It's called Cool Styles, so check that video out when you have a chance. Angie, the owner, is amazing, and her ladies are very, very gifted in what they do. To the left, you'll notice there are a bunch of flags. This particular town is very active, and they have different things that will happen. You'll have the flags for Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July. You'll see the graduates that get listed there around graduation time. They have the Christmas trees there around the holidays. There's a giant menorah that they put up as well. There are some churches over here. There's a pantry where they give out food. You'll see people hustling and bustling throughout the town. Sometimes you'll see protests at the town hall. This building over here with the big columns, people will protest or put up signs or whatever the case. They have a lot of different stores here. There's a nice little diner in that kind of tannish building. If you turn down Fair Street, which is a street with a detour, there is the high school, Carmel High School. Carmel is one of those towns where all of the children go to one high school, one middle school, and then there are multiple elementary schools. So it's broken up in that particular way. As you see, this is pretty much what's considered the town because it has most of the little shops. It starts from here and goes back towards where you saw like the McDonald's and the Taco Bell and things like that on this particular stretch of road. There are also historic landmarks here in this town. You'll see them throughout. We have several voluntary fire departments. We also have the sheriff's department. There are different groups and organizations that you can participate in should you choose to. There is a branch of Civil Air Patrol up here if you're one of the people who would like to be involved in something like that. There is another little plaza coming up on the right where you have a ShopRite. It's a big shopping center where you can go and get your groceries if you need to. There are different restaurants in that particular plaza. There's a little bagel shop over here. Got different pool stores, different delis along the road. There's a gigantic cemetery here on the left. Let's see, as we approach this area, there's the ShopRite, a Carmel Cinema, which unfortunately is closing. There's an urgent care over here. And you can see all of these things. I'm just trying to let you know there are a lot of different things that you could do in this particular town. A lot of different places where you could go if you needed to shop. There are bargain areas like we have in this particular area. The main stores like ShopRite, and then you have little delis around where like the gas station delis. You also have thrift stores, vintage stores, secondhand stores. There's one coming up here on the right that usually has some pretty cool things in there. There's a very large senior living center if you were to make that right over there. This is that vintage store that I was mentioning. And as you go down the road, you're going to see lots of different shops, whether it's for your pets or for flooring and tiling, automotive. You can pretty much get everything you need on this particular strip. This is Route 52. Route 52 connects a lot of different cities, so you can use it as a detour or back road if, let's say, the highway is congested and you just don't feel like dealing with that, or if maybe you just feel like enjoying the scenery. These country roads can be really pretty. They can be very windy, in some spaces very narrow, but as a whole, the roads here are very well maintained. Coming from Yonkers, where certain parts of the town were really well maintained and other parts were really not, it's nice to see that for the most part the roads are pretty well maintained around here. You will notice, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, there are not going to be street lights on many of these roads, because what I learned is that you have to purchase your street lights and put them up yourselves. So in a lot of neighborhoods, people prefer not to have the street lights up, which is pretty good because everybody goes home after sunset. If you want to hang out at night, it might pose a little trouble. As you go by this road, you'll see so many different things. There are churches, there are restaurants, the armory is nearby, there are print shops, gas stations. There's another hair salon. I've not tried that one out. Let's see. Oh, there is a bus that runs through Carmel, Mahopac, and some of the other cities. I know that the Beeline bus does pass through certain parts of the town, and then there's a smaller town bus that goes through as well. Depending on where you live, school buses will either stop directly in front of the house or at the top of a main road. Chiropractic works. There are a few different chiropractors that are in this particular area. If you're into holistic medicine, there are some doctors that can take care of you in that way, as well as traditional doctors. They have health groups, I believe Nuvance, Optum, and some others. There are also many lakes in Carmel. Carmel is very similar to Yonkers in that it has lots of water around and lots of windy, hilly roads. There are also many different pharmacies and banks and churches. Delis for sure. Bakeries. There are some very nice bakeries in the area. I do believe that there's one highlighted. I think the Pink Sugar Pastries video is one that you could find here as well. You should check that out when you have a chance, and definitely stop by and taste some of the goodies. There are several lake roads in this particular town. Maybe I'll do another video with them. But on those roads, some of those lakes have their own private beaches, or if you're part of Lake Carmel, the taxes include lake rights. So you can have your own little canoe, you can go out on the lake, you can enjoy the summertime fireworks and festivities. There's going to be a fishing derby every summer where there are plenty of fish stocked in the lake and people come and they have a fishing contest. I know that there is a place in Brewster where people tend to practice, and it's a really nice firehouse. There's a little spot behind there where you can go and fish as well. There's the Carmel Performing Arts Center where you can have different arts inside or outside displayed. Sometimes they have movie night throughout the summer. They'll have concerts. Sometimes they'll have dances or different performing arts. This little junction will take you to 311 or Route 80 or Highway 84, Interstate I-84. So you have many different ways of getting around in this particular town, which is kind of nice if you're like me and you like to have more than one route that you could possibly take. There are also lots of little nooks. I'm not sure if you'll notice them, but as you drive by, you'll notice that there are little kind of detour or like spaces on the side of the road, like this one here, where you can just pull in and sit for a while. You can watch the lake, you can go fishing. Nice little town feel. Depending on where you are in town, you'll have a lot of options for busy double-lined main roads and very quiet, no lines in the road at all streets. They have plenty of cul-de-sacs, one-way streets, dead ends. This is actually, I believe, the old Department of Transportation building. And you'll notice several veterans on the different poles, just honoring the servicemen and women from the neighborhood. Now in this area, you have to the left one of the larger fire departments, and here to the right you have the Kent Town Center. As I mentioned, Carmel, Lake Carmel, and Kent kind of intermingle. This little center here includes the library, a little playground, the sheriff's office, town hall, and a trail, a walking trail that you can get to. I'm going to do a quick little drive through around here. Plenty of parking. In this area here, you have access to the walking trail. And then to the left, you have a little playground. Straight ahead, there is the sheriff's office. As you can see, there are definitely people taking advantage of the walking trail. And the little circle. Sometimes people just walk around the circle as well. And out we go. Now, if you are a member of service and you would like to apply, the Putnam County area, I know that they have volunteer firefighters that volunteer from all around, and there's an agreement where if maybe one area does not have enough manpower at the time, they do call on each other to help work out for firefighters. There are junior programs for the cadets to come and learn if they wanted to do law enforcement or firefighter work or EMS work. There are different programs for the youth to get involved and get skilled and certified in certain areas. Continuing along here, Route 52, you're going to see some delis. There's a little like industrial type plant to the right. And then approaching on the left, you'll find the schools. 2 out of the 3 elementary schools. You've got Kent, excuse me, Kent Primary, Kent Elementary, and Matthew Patterson. To the left, you also have a nice little deli, Severio's Deli, and I believe to the back there's like an area where people go to play volleyball and sports. There's a collision store. The 2 schools that I had mentioned, Kent Primary and Kent Elementary. If you keep going and then make a left at this light, it'll take you down what's called Farmers Mills Road, which takes you through the Carmel, Kent area and puts you basically around the town. It also leads you to accessing the Taconic State Parkway and different state parks. I think Fawnstock State Park is down there, as well as White Pond. Now in this right hand side, there's a little complex. Straight ahead you can see 2 buildings. I believe one is a chiropractic office and the other one I believe is for rent or leasing. Here there is a drive-through Dunkin' Donuts where some use the drive-through, some park and go in. Let's see here, you've got Dunkin', there's a liquor store, hair salon, Chinese restaurant, Pink Sugar Pastries, which I have a video on. There was a cleaners. There was a nail salon and a smoke store. There is a pizzeria and a deli there. Wonderful, if you can check it out. Upstairs in that complex, they also have performing arts, like a dance school, I believe. There's also a jiu-jitsu school up there and a few other things. Definitely worth checking out. Going down this road, it has access to the different towns. Like if you stay on 52, Route 52 will take you through Stormville, through Hopewell Junction. It'll take you all the way down into Fishkill and beyond. Or you can take the highway. I think it also leads to Route 84 and different routes into Patterson and Brewster. To my left, you'll see there's an apartment building complex where they have rental units. There's on the right a car shop, as well as a traffic sign and supply shop. A little further down here, we have the pet, veterinarian area and doctor's office. There's this field that is for sale. So if you're looking for a nice industrial area, I believe that one is still available, but don't quote me because I don't know what time or year you're watching this video. The foliage in this area is absolutely gorgeous year round. You have two gas stations that are competing all the time. There's a Sunoco and a Mobile. There's a Gappy's Pizzeria on the right hand side, as well as another chiropractic office. And there's a little deli here behind the Mobile. There's much to see, and believe it or not, in these towns you'll find that there are streets that connect you to many different cities, and just driving around you can find some pretty cool gems. I'm going to stop this video soon just because I don't want it to be too long, but if you're looking to buy property in the Putnam, Westchester, or Dutchess areas, do send me a message. I'd love to help answer some questions for you and hopefully help you find your dream home or your dream piece of land so you can build your property to your own specifications. You can reach me on this platform, or you can send me a message at 914-483-9617. Monique Noel-Gunter here with eXp Realty. I am Realtor Impossibles, LLC as well, and I look forward to answering your questions and helping you to connect with different areas and stores and people based on where it is you're looking to go. But I hope that you take the time to leave a comment. Be sure to like this video, share it with others, subscribe to the channel, and I will be putting in new content on a weekly basis for those of you looking in the Putnam County, Dutchess County, and Westchester County areas of New York. I hope that this is helpful to you. God bless and stay well. Thank you so much for watching. This little area right here is off of Fair Street. This little Towner's Road will lead you to one of my favorite gas stations. I say favorite because I don't like to overpay with gas. And for whatever reason, this gas station tends to have a better rate than many of the others in the area. Whether it's in Wappingers, Beacon, Brewster, Carmel, Patterson, Southeast. I like to explore and find good gas stations, so I'm going to share this one with you guys. So this is Towner's Road. And what I love about this area is that a lot of the roads connect and lead you to different routes, or I don't know, I'd say adjacent roads. I can either go around where you're looking to go or go through where you're looking to go. So it is fun to drive around and explore. There are definitely a lot of bus stop specials, as I call them, where you'll have roads where people have their kids wait in the front of the property in the morning, and the bus will literally stop and pick up each kid on the way down the road, which can be very annoying if you're trying to get somewhere, but also very convenient if you're a parent and you want your kid to be picked up in front of the house, depending on the road that you're on and depending on the bus route for the school. Sometimes the kids have to walk up the street and they'll all get picked up in one spot, and sometimes they'll get picked up right in front of their house. So if that's something that you want to consider when you're buying a home in the area, be sure to mention it to your realtor. Ask me if I'm your realtor, and we can have a great conversation about that. Finding out isn't really difficult. You can always check with the Department of Transportation or call the school directly to find out based on the address. Alright, we're going to be coming up on a curve here, and this little curve leads you to a nice little ice cream shop on the left hand side where they had custom ice cream for years. This lady was so sweet. I think she recently retired. There are also different shops in the area here. You can come check them out. This is one of those roads that leads to many other roads. But it's still Towner's Road. You can check out the mature trees and foliage. This particular area usually has pretty well manicured lawns, and there are some access points down these different streets where you can go to different lakes. As part of Lake Carmel, they have lake rights and they can put their little boats out. There are little beaches, some with sand, some with stones, some with grass and trees. I think there are a few different beach areas. Not 100% sure of how many there are. So some are open at times and while others are closed. But coming up on the right hand side is that gas station I promised you. Sinclair gas station usually has pretty good rates. Across the street on the left is the Armory. Across the street here, directly from Sinclair, is, I believe, a plumbing store. So either way, I hope this video has been helpful to you. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and reach out if you have any questions. You can always reach me here on this platform or again at 914-483-9617. God bless and stay well.